Welcome to the presentation on budgeting tips. So we're going to go through some top tips for you on how to make the most of your money. My name's Ruth Round. I'm the Applicant Support Manager at the Gateway. So we provide pre-entry advice and guidance to potential students. So we're going to go through cost of living concerns you might have, useful tips, making sure you plan ahead so you know how much money you've got coming in and when, part-time work, what the rules around that are, and also how to apply for student discounts. So the main concern people have around cost of living is, can I manage on my student money? So if you're a UK student, you'll apply to the UK government for your loans. If you're an international student, you do need to make sure you've got sufficient funds in place to pay for your fees and your living costs. We have a lot of students from a range of different backgrounds, different ages, nationalities, circumstances, and students do manage. I'm not necessarily saying it's easy, but it is possible to manage and study successfully on the student finance that's available. Save the Student did a survey of thousands of students and added together what they all spent and produced this very useful chart. So it gives you an idea of how much money you're likely to need per month. Obviously, the biggest cost is rent or living costs. So if you are living at home with your parents and travelling in each day, that is a good way to save some money. But there is a whole range of things you might not have thought about that you still need to pay for when you're a student. But there are also ways to supplement your income, so we will go through that for you in more detail as well. So the main thing you need to do is to prioritise your food and your rent. Those are the most important things. You need to have somewhere to live and something to eat. Some of the other things you might have to manage without, or you might have to do second-hand or charity clothes shopping rather than buying new, but the main thing to do is to prioritise what you absolutely need to have in order to survive. Academic books can be quite expensive, so do make sure you make full use of our library facilities. We have a very large libraries on each campus, and we have a lot of books and online reference material, so make the most of those. If you don't need to buy a book, don't buy a book. Always borrow first and only buy if you absolutely need to. Have a look for second-hand books that old students, previous students might be selling, and make the most of your student discount. So if you are buying anything, do find out first if they do a student discount or if there's any way you can get it cheaper. Always ask wherever you are if places do student discounts, and most places do, so I'll go through the kind of student discount cards that are available that you can apply for, and once you are a student, do make the most of it and take any discounts on offer that are available to students. If you're applying for your student finance from Student Finance England, Scotland, Wales or Northern Ireland, then the maintenance loan payments are paid to you in 3 instalments. So you'll get a third of your money each term. So you do need to make sure that you're budgeting for the whole term until your next instalment. So you do need to make sure you work out what your essentials are, work out how much those are going to be, and then any money remaining is obviously for your extra things that you need. It doesn't matter how you do your budgeting. It doesn't matter whether you have a magic app on your phone, whether you have a spreadsheet, whether you have an old-fashioned notebook and pen. The most important thing is that you take it seriously and that you make sure you have enough money to live off. And do plan for the full 12 months. You may be able to work full-time over the summer, but don't assume that that is possible, so do make sure you have budgeted for the full 12 months. If you're coming to university to study a standard undergraduate academic course or a postgraduate academic course where there are no placements, then there is no limit on how much work you can do if you are a UK home student. However, do bear in mind that you don't want to fail your course because you've worked too many hours, so we do say preferably no more than 15 hours a week during term time. If you are an international student, you do need to check on the requirements of your visa and how many hours you are allowed to work. Part-time work is also good for your CV as well as your bank balance, so it is useful to get part-time work. The university does employ quite a lot of students, particularly at open days and as our ambassadors to work other events. So when you start, if that's something that appeals to you, there is an application process and you are interviewed, but we do offer lots of employment opportunities for students while they're studying. Plus there is the usual external work, bar work, things like that that you can look for as well. So there's a whole range of student discount cards you can apply for. You just need to provide evidence. Obviously, you are a full-time student, so you won't be able to do this until you're fully enrolled. Some of them are free, some of them there is a payment associated with, but do have a look and, as I say, apply for as many as you can. And wherever you go, do say, do you have a student discount? Because it's really important to save money wherever you possibly can. There's a whole range of budget planning information out there that you can have a look at and do your research. So do go onto the various websites, find out more, and just make sure that you have plans in place so that you know you can manage. If you have any other questions, do get into contact with the Gateway team. You can email us gateway@wlv.ac.uk or phone us on 01902 32 1032. Thank you very much.